Prologue. The rise of a titan. There was a name that once struck fear into the hearts of millions, a name whispered with both reverence and contempt. It was a name that symbolized wealth beyond imagination, power that knew no bounds, a man who had reshaped the very foundations of modern capitalism. He was the first billionaire, the architect of the world's most powerful monopoly. His empire cast an enormous shadow over industries, economies, and even governments. His name was Rockefeller. But how did he do it? How did this man rise from nothing to become the richest person in the world? The answer lies in a tale of brutal ambition, cutthroat business deals, and an insatiable hunger for more. This is the story of John D. Rockefeller, the notorious rich man whose name became synonymous with wealth, power, and ruthlessness. It is a story that begins in the humble beginnings in 1839, where a baby named John D. Rockefeller was born into a world of uncertainty and struggle, a world that would soon be irrevocably changed by his relentless pursuit of success. So get ready to take a journey back in time to explore the early life of the legendary rich man. Discover the events, people, and circumstances that shaped him into the powerful force that would captivate the world. Join us as we unravel the secrets of his humble beginnings and witness firsthand the rise of a true titan of industry. Chapter 1. The hard start of Mr. Rockefeller in 1839. America was still a land of modest means and limited opportunities. In the town of Richford, New York, William and Eliza Rockefeller were preparing to welcome their first child, unaware that they were about to embark on a wild journey through life. They had no idea what the future held for them or for the son they were about to bring into the world. You see, William, also known as Devil Bill, was a traveling conman and criminal. And when he wasn't around, which was often, Eliza had to hold down the fort and make sure that her son grew up with some sense of stability, which was not easy given the circumstances. Despite the odds stacked against them, Eliza instilled in her son John the values of discipline, faith, and hard work, shaping him into a young man with a strong work ethic and moral principles. From an early age, John showed a knack for business and a determination to succeed. He started raising turkeys, buying and selling produce, and even charging his friends a nickel to use his wagon. He always seemed to have just enough money to last until the next job. At age 12, John got a paper route and soon became the local agent for a produce auctioneer, earning enough to manage the household finances while his father was away. When he turned 13, his father was sent to jail for a year for raping a maid at gunpoint, leaving the family penniless and forcing them to move to Cleveland, Ohio, where they lived in a one-room shack without any furniture. Despite the hardships, John never lost sight of his goals. He continued to work hard, saving money and dreaming of a better future for himself and his family. Then when John was 16, his father was released from prison, but his actions forced the Rockefellers to flee town again. Once again, making their way to Cleveland, they lived in poverty, sleeping in an abandoned barn and enduring the harsh conditions. With no other choice, John dropped out of school to become the family's breadwinner. After 6 long weeks of facing rejection, he finally landed a bookkeeping job at a produce commission firm, earning $50 a week. But despite his success, he didn't forget where he came from and made sure to help support his family. On July 26, 1855, John declared Job Day a personal holiday, promising himself to work tirelessly to achieve his goals and provide a better life for his family. Little did he know that this day would go down in history as the day his journey to the top began. And speaking of journeys, if you're enjoying this one so far, then why not take a moment to show your support? Your support truly means the world to us and motivates us to keep bringing you more amazing stories. Chapter 2. The Young Mr. Rockefeller. After a few years working for others, Rockefeller decided it was time to venture out on his own. With the help of his friend Maurice Clark, he formed a produce company called Clark and Rockefeller. Together they bought produce from Western farmers at low prices and sold them in Eastern markets for a profit. But as the Civil War approached, the partners realized they needed more capital to expand their business. So with the help of Morse's uncle, they secured $4,000 in funding and set their sights on supplying food to the Union Army. As the war raged on, the demand for food and supplies grew, providing Clark and Rockefeller with a lucrative opportunity to supply the Union Army with produce. As their business boomed, they quickly generated major profits and established themselves as reliable suppliers. Their ability to navigate the complexities of wartime logistics and secure consistent supplies made them indispensable to the Union's effort. As the war dragged on, the economic impact on the northern states became increasingly significant. The demand for goods and services to support the military effort created a surge in industrial production and agricultural output. The Union's expanding economy provided fertile ground for entrepreneurs like Clark and Rockefeller to thrive. But as their business expanded, they faced new challenges. Competition for government contracts became fierce, and maintaining a steady supply of goods proved difficult. Nonetheless, the young partners worked tirelessly to meet the demands of the market. Utilizing their entrepreneurial skills and business acumen to overcome obstacles and keep their enterprise profitable, by the end of the Civil War, Clark and Rockefeller had built a solid foundation for future success. Their experience in supplying the Union Army had honed their skills in logistics, negotiation, and risk management, setting the stage for their transition into the oil refining industry. And it all started when they met a chemist named Samuel Andrews. He had developed a process for refining crude oil, a byproduct of the oil wells that had become a valuable commodity, seeing an opportunity to diversify their business. Clark and Rockefeller invested in Andrews's refinery, marking their entry into the oil refining industry. This strategic move proved to be a wise investment as the demand for kerosene, a product derived from the refining process, soared. People were looking for a clean and efficient source of lighting for their homes and businesses, making kerosene an attractive option. The soaring demand created a lucrative market for Clark and Rockefeller, allowing them to generate substantial profits. As the kerosene business flourished, John's interest shifted primarily towards oil. He recognized the immense potential of the industry and saw an opportunity to build a powerful empire. With this realization, John made the decision to buy out Maurice's share in the business. Initially, they had agreed that both partners would have equal shares in the new oil venture. However, John's increasing focus and the significant profits generated from kerosene prompted Maurice to sell his share back to John. In a deal brokered by Maurice's uncle, John purchased Maurice's share of the business for $72,500, gaining full ownership of the oil refining empire. With this pivotal transaction, John secured his position as the sole proprietor of one of the most successful businesses of the time. His empire was poised for expansion, and his relentless pursuit of success promised to shape the future of the industry. As the years passed, Rockefeller's empire grew rapidly, amassing unprecedented wealth and power. His relentless pursuit of efficiency and cost reduction enabled him to produce oil at lower prices than his competitors, giving him a significant edge in the market. One fateful day, a major oil discovery in Pennsylvania, known as the Drake's Well, transformed the industry forever. The abundance of oil in the region presented a golden opportunity for Rockefeller to expand his empire. Seizing the moment, he relocated his refinery operations to Pennsylvania, establishing a strong presence in the heart of the oil fields. This strategic move allowed him to control the supply chain, reduce transportation costs, and increase his production capacity. As the oil industry boomed in Pennsylvania, Rockefeller's influence grew exponentially. He solidified his position as the dominant player in the market, shaping the industry to his advantage. By the time he reached the age of 25, John D. Rockefeller had already established himself as a prominent figure in the oil refining industry. His empire stretched across the nation, and his name was synonymous with success and innovation. However, his journey was far from over. The story of how he amassed a fortune and gained unprecedented power was just beginning. Stay tuned for more updates as we continue to explore the fascinating life and times of this legendary rich man. Don't miss out on the next chapter in this thrilling saga. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of the infamous rich man. We hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into his early years and the events that shaped him into the powerful force that he became. If you've been captivated by his story so far, then don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on the next installments of his incredible journey. Join us as we continue to uncover the secrets of his meteoric rise to power, the ruthless tactics he employed, and the lasting impact he had on the world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.